I think the past 2 years, you could argue it's the two most least deserving champions. For sure.
This year in Blaney?
Yeah. Because Logano was behind Chris Buescher in points all year. He didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but to be fair, Chris Buescher, he might have been in the championship 4 if he made the playoffs.
But he didn't because he didn't win a race. That's my problem.
And that's what I think is probably
Joey got lucky and won. Chris Buescher didn't get lucky. And you can argue Chris Buescher was better and faster than Joey all year. And that's where all this stuff comes from.
And I think that's probably the most – I think that's a better argument than Joey winning the championship against the format. I think the better argument is Joey probably shouldn't have made the playoffs. And he was, so he did what he had to do, and it worked. But I don't think him winning the championship discredits the format as much as him being in the playoffs in the first place, because he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And neither should have Daniel Suarez, and neither should have
Harrison
Burton.
Chase Briscoe.
And Briscoe. So
but they didn't win the championship, so it's...
But that's fair, but here's the thing. Harrison Burton finished last in points, I'm pretty sure, without his win.
Yeah.
Joey probably would have made the playoffs if it wasn't winning you're in. If the 2 or 3 guys that won races that were, 25th in points or worse.
Well, what's the line then? Because he was like 15th to 17th in points. Is it going to take below the top 20 in points for somebody to go out there and win a championship before you say it's not just before you have a problem with it? Like, where's the line for you? I think it's top 10. If you're not top 10 in points all year, I think there's a problem.
Well, I think they should go back to the top 10 being the only ones that make the playoffs, but they would have to get rid of the win and you're in because more than 10 people are going to win a race. Yeah. So I don't think the champion really matters all that much.
No, it's lost its value for sure based on all this shit. But if you're a diehard NASCAR fan, you watch to the end of the year, you want to see a deserving champion, and you get frustrated.
You do, but you want to see the champion crowned deservingly because if Kyle Larson goes out there and wins a championship this year,
people say it was boring.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I was going to say, but you're right. But if Kyle goes out and wins it, you say sure, but I still don't think it carries the same weight as Matt Kenseth's championship in 2003 or,
it's close to it.
Jimmy's 7.
But Matt won in 2003.
Only won one race.
Win. It's like the Winston Cup. Christopher Bell would have won the Winston Cup right this year.
Well, yes, he would have based on the.
How far was Chase Elliott behind him? 5 points.
5 points.
Chase Elliott had a Matt Kenseth 2003 year back to the damn tee.
Here's the Here's the thing that people argue is people race differently because of the standings, and that's totally fair. They do, but you still have competitive, win and you're in scenarios in the other playoff, in the chase format, and even going back to the Winston Cup style points. Hell, what was it, 1992? There were 7 different drivers that could win the championship.
That was 2004. It was like 6.
Yeah, I'm just talking Winston Cup style. But, you had, when it was at Atlanta, you had Alan Kulwicki, Bill Elliott, Davey Allison. There's 100 different guys that could win that championship.
Yeah, I forgot there's a couple of ones that had a realistic chance.
Kyle Petty, I think, was in that championship battle.
Dale Sr. probably.
Senior.
Or maybe not. He probably had a bad year that year.
But, you have these Game 7 moments that NASCAR wants in these other playoff formats. So, yes, long story short, I do think the playoff format's dumb, but I don't think Joey winning the championship proves that. I think if you have a winless guy go in and win the Like I think if
Like a Matt Crafton in 2019.
yeah, if Matt Crafton won the championship in 19
no wins.
with no wins, that would be kind of stupid. If
Newman almost won it in 14 with no wins.
Yeah. Well, he probably should have won that race at Homestead.
Didn't have a win before that.
Yeah, but and we've talked about it on his podcast before, if on lap 7, all 4 of the playoff guys get taken out and they have to determine who wins the championship based on where they were when a caution came out on lap 7 and all of them are out of the race, that would prove how dumb this format is. But that's never going to happen, not at Phoenix, because they don't wreck there.
Yeah, all right, then 1 year, let's sacrifice it. Let's go to Daytona for the championship race. And let's just take one for the team for a year. You done?
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much said everything I've kind of said along with your sentiments of I don't think he is the deserving champion. He did everything he needed to do in this format to win the championship, and kudos to him. He and Penske, even Blaney last year. Like, I love Blaney, but he wasn't the most deserving champion last year. But they figured out how to do it. You win a race in round of 8, and if you're good at Phoenix, which the Fords and Penske are, you got a good chance to win the championship when you've been running 15th all year. That's my problem with it. Just, I get stick and ball sports. The New York Giants in 07, they were, I think, 9-8 or something like that in 07. Barely made the playoffs. Went on that run, beat Green Bay, beat somebody else, I think Dallas. And they got to New England, who'd been 18-0, perfect all year. Nobody could beat them, and then they wound up beating them in the Super Bowl. It's just different because the Giants didn't play every team didn't play the Patriots in those games as well. So it's hard to compare it to stick and ball sports. But I get where Riley's coming from. It just doesn't look good. Like, Joey Logano was never on my radar this year of being a top tier driver in the sport. At least not in 2024. He has been in the past. You could argue his lone couple years where he probably deserved to win a championship was 14, 15, and 16, and he never got it done. So it's not like Joey Logano's never deserved to win a championship, because there's been a couple years where he's been probably in the discussion of one of the most deserving drivers, but didn't get the job done based off this format. Last race didn't go their way or whatever, or Matt Kenseth taking you out at Martinsville was the reason why too. But,
yeah.
So I don't like it. It just doesn't feel right to me because he never really all year, other than his race win at Nashville, he just never showed champion level speed all year.
Second most wins.
3 of them were luck. I get it's part of the sport, but I don't care that if he wins 3-4 races off of luck, and he wins the championship. Now, this race yesterday was probably his most deserving win of the season. Kudos to him for that. That's why I hate the format. I feel nothing inside. If Blaney wins it, he was not the most deserving, but at least he showed way more speed all year. Had some bad luck here and there from DNS, or he could have been right there at the regular season championship with Reddick and Chase and Larson if it wasn't for some bad breaks here and there. But Byron or even Reddick deserved it more than Logano. They consistently ran better all year, and it's all about getting hot at the right time. I get that. It's just I think he definitely is not the driver that should have won the championship, and that's why people have a problem with this format. It's just that I don't feel nothing, and it sucks because I want to care about the championship. You watch all the races all year. You watch every other sport. You watch all the regular season games, and you watch the playoff games, and you watch the championship game, and no other sport you really feel like the team won the championship. But you're like, yeah, well, that team from 2 games ago probably should have won. You don't have that in those other sports because they went out and beat them head to head. And when you have guys like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell outrun the 2022 all year on speed, pretty much every race, and they don't even have a chance to make it to Phoenix to win a championship just based off this format and how the points go. It makes you feel empty inside because you know that's not who the champion should be, and that's just how I feel. And I know other people feel like that as well, maybe for different reasons, but that's my opinion, and that's my reason behind it. And like I said, it could have been Chase Elliott if he'd had a season like Logano this year. I'd be happy, but I'd still have a problem with it because he wouldn't have been the most deserving champion. And I want at least a few drivers that were constantly fast all year. What I've been watching with my own two eyes, I want one of those drivers to win a championship. And Blaney was in the discussion. I think you could argue maybe Byron was. He didn't win a race. He hadn't won a race since March, since the Martinsville race in March or April, whatever it was. And then Reddick, of course, won the regular season championship. He definitely would have been deserving. And then you could throw guys like Larson, most wins, Chase Elliott, most consistent, Bell, probably one of the more quicker cars and consistent cars all year. If any of those five guys win, I don't have a problem. It's just the fact that Joey wins, ran 15th all year in points pretty much, and he played the system to perfection, winning races, and he got it done. And the one round he didn't win a race, he didn't make it at first, and then he gets put into the next round because somebody else failed post-race inspection.